Hello and welcome back to KXAN Plus. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora. And if you're watching us live, thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday. But if you're not watching us live, we are recording this on a Sunday. And we're going to do our Tommy's Travel Forecast show with our KXAN meteorologist, Tommy House. Tommy, thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
Good. How's your Sunday so far?
It's really, really slow, honestly. How's yours?
I mean, it's good. It's been overall a busy weekend. A lot of stuff we're working on. And of course today just found out my Patriots lost. So, that was tough to take in, but, you know what, we're going to keep moving on and hopefully this can be a fun little chat that can get me out of my slump right now. Cause that was a tough game.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Patriot fans out there are feeling that hit
Maybe not
too.
a ton in Austin, but yeah, definitely.
Well, today we're going to be talking a little bit about our hurricanes. It is still hurricane season, and we have been saying it's been quiet out in the Atlantic, but that things are changing, right?
Yeah, we have a tropical storm right now, Gabrielle. Gabrielle's currently sitting in the Atlantic Basin, just shy of that official hurricane strength, which is maximum winds sustained at 75 miles per hour. But at this time, you can see some of the dark reds showing some convection and signs of further strengthening for this storm, moving northwest between around 10 and 15 miles per hour. The cone has Gabrielle becoming a hurricane in the coming few hours, and then passing east, but quickly going from a tropical storm to a Category 2. And once it grabs onto the trough, gets pulled out to sea pretty quickly here. So not expecting Gabrielle to make any sort of impacts to land. But
could that change?
No, I mean, once it grabs onto the trough and gets pulled out to sea, there's pretty much 100% confidence this is not going to be moving anywhere else. That's not in that forecast cone. But I'll show you again the position of this near Bermuda. Overall fairly close to Bermuda itself, but the effects that we'll see on land is just some high rip current risk and swell and even some life-threatening rip currents north of North Carolina up toward New England. But this is not going to be something that is going to be impacting the U.S. at all.
But is there a possibility that anywhere around the map people will be seeing some storms or showers or even thunderstorms, stuff like that?
Yeah, if we want to talk about some of the storms real quick, today at least there is that yellow area is a level 2 out of 5 severe storm threat. So we have this level 2 out of 5 threat in for today. That actually includes a little bit of northern Texas and Oklahoma. That's the Red River Valley. But a level 1 out of 5 extends through the plains up toward the Midwest, the Ohio River Valley, and even portions of the northern plains. Iowa and Minnesota could be seeing some strong storms. Impacts here specifically, isolated tornadoes, some damaging winds, and large hail certainly possible. And, through the next few hours, this upper level low that's been sparking up some of these strong showers and storms, as I play this out, continues to bring some heavy rain. By this evening, northern Texas there could see some action through Missouri, portions of the Appalachian Mountains, and this continues through the overnight hours into Monday. By Monday during the afternoon, again, additional convection that will be sparking up some heavy rain from the Rockies further east, and this carries into Tuesday as well. By Monday night into Tuesday, the low-level jet will be bringing some heavy rain through Kansas and Oklahoma. So because this is a travel forecast, I will say travel into the plains, going to be seeing some unsettled weather for the first half of the week, but by the second half of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, much of the East Coast will be seeing some unsettled weather. That same upper level low pressure system will be sliding further east by next weekend.
Interesting. So if anyone has any flights planned, or you know that your family or friends are planning on getting on a plane soon, let them know to keep this in mind because, storms always put a dent on travel plans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to look at this upper level pattern that we have right now, this has been the pattern we've been dealing with. High pressure down in the Four Corners and this low pressure up toward Minneapolis. As I draw this out through the next few hours, notice that low pressure system begins to dig further south. And we're dealing with now in between that high and low. See the purples and the blues up toward northern Texas there.
Looks very pretty.
Yeah, the colors are nice. I did create this graphic, so I did get to choose the colors. But it shows at the upper levels, the winds are ripping really intensely. So we could see some wind shear, which is when wind changes in speed, also strength with directions, or speed and direction with height, I should say. And that's where we could be seeing the isolated tornado threat through portions of, let's say, Oklahoma, the Panhandle, in Kansas. This same weather pattern, as I draw this out Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday, begins to eventually work its way further east as we get closer to the weekend. So that's why, I think there could be some storms for St. Louis, down toward Atlanta, and then the DC, New York, Boston area by Friday into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Closer to home, we'll see a few spot showers, but the main concern is going to be for much of, at least at this point by Thursday, Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee and Kentucky could get over half a foot of rain in the span of a few days.
Wow, rain is much needed, right? And I wish we were getting it more here closer to home, but what are we going to see today, the next few days here locally in Austin?
Yeah, no severe storms, just some 90s spot showers. And, 5 o'clock on KXAN, we'll have a little more of a closer to home. But as you'll see that by...
The risk?
Yeah, by tomorrow, that level 2 out of 5 significantly expands. This includes actually level 1 out of 5 for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Amarillo, Wichita, Kansas, level 2 out of 5 for Omaha, Nebraska there. And then that level 1 out of 5 continues a little bit further east through the Ohio River Valley. So definitely watching a few different areas, specifically, obviously where it is in Kansas is the big one. And then, of course, up toward
Omaha.
See if this, it gets a little bit fidgety here with some of these, but just trying to show you that those areas in the yellow have a higher chance for getting, heavy rain, large hail, and even a few spin-ups.
Yeah. Anything else happening around? It seems like it was so quiet there for a while with the tropics, and severe storms or severe weather wasn't too crazy for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the August into early September pattern is quiet. We're also watching 2 other areas in the Atlantic Basin. So we have these 2 waves that the National Hurricane Center drew up. The yellow means low chance of development, and the orange means medium. But notice the yellow area includes some of the Caribbean islands.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's there. And this could eventually work its way a little bit further west, closer to home. So something that... it relies on the steering, but something we need to monitor closely. Way out into the Atlantic, we do have a Bermuda high that's going to be taking Gabrielle and throwing it out to sea. Could it do that with these 2 other waves? It's certainly possible, but there's definitely some signs of life with a potential low-pressure system behind Gabrielle. If that does become tropical, of course, KXAN.com/tropical tracker should have that for you as well.
And if Gabrielle does become a hurricane in the next few hours, that would be which number hurricane of this season?
Oh, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we're already on 7 named storms.
Wow.
So tropical storm or hurricane, it's still considered a named storm.
Yeah.
And then H, which is behind that, is the next named storm. If we could see, peak hurricane season was September 10th, and this goes till the end of November. I expect probably at least a few more named storms. When you kind of fine-tune those details of where the storms could be, how strong could these hurricanes be, are they even going to become hurricanes or just tropical storms, it kind of leaves it up in the air. We've had so far every single named storm being just a tropical storm.
Yeah.
The exception is Aaron. That was a Category 5, so big difference. But
one out of all of the ones that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and thankfully no impacts, landfalls to the U.S. Barry, though, however, of course, made landfall in Mexico, but the moisture brought, unfathomable
to us.
Damage and catastrophic. So it doesn't really matter about the strength of the storm per se with damage. Obviously, those more intense hurricanes can pack a punch and bring that tighter wind field of strong gusts, but the moisture in the right atmospheric setup can lead to some flooding. And then at 5 o'clock today, I believe at 5, 9, and 10, I have a package coming out about how fall is our second rainy season, and we see October is our second wettest month. We can still see some significant flooding. July was so crazy because it was out of the ordinary, Esme.
It was in the middle of summer. We were not expecting that at all.
Yeah. So, if some tropical systems kind of get caught up in between 2 weather patterns, they can squeeze out a lot of moisture. We see with Helene, too. Last year, North Carolina still beginning that process of cleaning up, and it's been well over a year since Helene's landfall. So Few more weeks and months, not to kind of have a bad vibe to this, but, for now it's just Gabrielle. And if you want to, I'll go back to the cone of Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Notice it's going to steer clear to the east of Bermuda. Once it grabs onto the trough, wind shear kind of rips it away and weakens it to a tropical storm by Friday. Do I think it'll reach Cat 2 strength? I mean, the satellite right now isn't really showing too much organization. Typically you'd see a little more of a better developed tropic system for maximum winds sustained at 65 miles per hour. When that new update comes out, though, in the next few hours, we'll see if this gets strengthened. But, some convection around the eye itself, not really even eye pulling together, more just some showers.
It's a little spread out, more spread out than what we've seen before.
Yeah. The old laptop, I could draw and I could kind of get a better show of how I think the circulation would look. Now I just have arrows, but
new technology.
I can try to work it with the jet stream graphic. Yeah, typically you'd see some sort of circulation embedded in the storm itself. The position of this, we're seeing some convection a little bit further away from that center of circulation, which shows you that it's fighting some unfavorable conditions. Those reds and magentas do show signs of strengthening itself. As we pointed out too, with this becoming a potential Category 2 storm, I'm going to lean more on the conservative side and say Category 1 for now. Regardless, though, Cat 1, Cat 2 for Bermuda.
Still a big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, the swell for Bermuda and the East Coast will be notable, but this isn't really showing any sort of big signs of rapid intensification or strengthening at this very moment.
Interesting. What is the average amount of storms we would have during a tropical storm season or hurricane season? What is that number?
Great question. I think it's somewhere between like 9 and 13. A little more on the lower side of that. The NOAA and Colorado State University meteorologists who were forecasting a little bit more than normal. I think we're probably going to end very average this year, which is great. We haven't seen any sort of big direct impacts from a hurricane standpoint, but definitely can't let our guard down. The Gulf is incredibly warm. Our buoy ocean temps are between 88 and 90 degrees in the Gulf, so that's a lot of energy. It's like a bathwater for a storm that can quickly gain that fuel and cause it to further strengthen, and it could impact. I mean, there's nothing there now, but it would just take one low pressure system to form and kind of not have anything that's steering it. And that could create some sort of problem. But, things are quiet in the Gulf for now. We'll take it as a win. And
it happens pretty quickly, so it's important to stay up to date, know where to get your notifications from, have your plans set. If by any chance you live by the coast and something happens, our KXAN weather app is great for that, right, Tommy?
Yeah, we have, of course, our Tropical Tracker article that has that, our forecasts that come out pretty regularly every few hours. And as you can see over much of the Atlantic Basin, there's just those two areas that we're watching. Gabrielle will move further north and east in the coming few days, but behind that, we'll have to see where that low chance of potential development goes. Could these new waves kind of steer up and follow a Gabrielle's path? Or with the high pressure that's to the east of Gabrielle, could we see some sort of additional steering? Could it track its way maybe a little bit further west toward Florida? Or could it kind of wrap its way around toward Nova Scotia? A lot of things are still up in the air by now. You're going to see a lot of individual computer model runs on social media. Those are a bunch of bogus. We want to just stick with the National Hurricane Center on this because beyond the next few days, it's really hard to pinpoint the exact location and intensity of this, until the storm actually even develops. Right now, they're just clusters of waves besides Gabrielle. These things aren't even set in stone. I mean, 20% chance of development isn't a lot. It's low. 50% in the orange, a little higher confidence with some convection out there. And, there's some action, too, near the West African coast. But I'm sure the next few days, our team of meteorologists will have additional updates that you can find on KXAN.
Yes, and we will continue to talk about the tropical storms and hurricanes happening out in the Atlantic throughout the entire rest of the season. I do want to pinpoint that you said October is one of our rainiest months, and it's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. And these systems in October can be kind of sneaky. It just takes... a slow-moving stationary front embedded in with some moisture from the tropics, and all of a sudden we're talking, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain that can fall in a short period of time. Ideally, nobody wants that, right? But it's good to have a flood plan. Get severe weather alerts. Make sure just to have, steps of action to take if there is a specific severe weather threat. Nothing that jumps out of the ordinary crazy to me in the next 2 to 3 days here. Wednesday, there is a bit of a flood threat from a slow-moving cold front that's going to sweep through, and we'll have the specific details at 5 on KXAN for that. But big picture traveling, planes the next 3 days, could see some action further east to close out the work week. Next weekend, a little too far out for those specific hammer on the nail forecasts. More storms than we have seen the past few weeks. I haven't seen a severe weather threat like this in quite some time. We've been talking about just the high pressure ridging in the tropics, but even until, let's say, Tuesday. By Tuesday, we now have, and this is actually brand spanking new. This was just a new update because when I was writing up this article, we had a level 1 out of 5, now level 2 out of 5 for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So it looks like all the Storm Prediction Center updates have changed slightly. Still today, that level 2 out of 5 for Dallas. Tomorrow, that level 2 out of 5 for much of the plains, including Omaha. And then for now, Tuesday, or Monday was Monday was the graphic I showed before. Now Tuesday, that level 1 out of 5 for Memphis through Dallas.
Yeah, a little bit of Dallas in there. What about temperatures? How is it going to be? Are we sticking to triple digits, or have we moved past them?
Ooh, good question. I think Tuesday's our best day for triple digits.
No.
Here's how it looks for now on Tuesday. 98. So the custom temperature we put in manually in forecast for is Austin. All the other temps are computer model data.
Yeah.
So Rich Siegel, these were his numbers. He had 98 in Austin. I think 99 or 100.
No.
I think he's a little cool with that 98.
It's supposed to be fall.
I know.
Why are we seeing these temperatures?
Right. It's just the winds out of the south. The high pressure ridge is just the name of the game. It's in place. It's in charge,
Mm-hmm.
But the front should help out, I will say. The front should cool us back down. Low 90s. It's not going to be a vacation by any sort of means. I'm trying to see if I can pull up another graphic here.
And that front's coming in here locally in Austin, or was it a big picture front that you were talking about?
Yeah, great question. That front will be arriving in Austin itself.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to be a big change in temperatures besides those lower 90s. It's not like you're not going to feel a drastic change. Let's see. So Kristen just put in this graphic. The problem is some of these graphics, this one I haven't changed yet. It'll have a cold front for a day. See, that front's going to arrive a day earlier because you have to go in and manually change these things.
It'll be here Wednesday.
It would be here Wednesday. So what you do, I'm showing y'all behind the scenes right now. You're getting the VIP experience.
Editing it.
I would slide that cold front over. So when you don't change the graphic and other Met uses it, you got to go in and do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, that's okay.
Name of the game.
Hey, that's the practice. Y'all getting the behind the scenes look here. So here's how it looks the next 7 days once this loads, and you'll see that through the next 7. And of course, it went back to its original spot. We'll move on, Esme.
This is live, so this is what you get when you're watching live, right?
This is what happens when 5 meteorologists try to use the same graphics, and we get some fun problems. But the front should arrive, I think, Wednesday. Bringing us down to the lower 90s, and then we will see.
We'll take it. Lower 90s is okay.
Lower 90s is okay, and we will see before that some heat. Tomorrow, for example, for your Monday, 96. Our normal high is 91. So, warmer than normal.
Great.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy. We will take 96 over 106, right? We've seen some
any
triple
day.
digits.
Please give me 96 over 106.
Yeah, our last triple digit day climatologically is end of August 30th. Although last year was the latest ever triple digit day when we hit 100 on October 14th.
Wow. And when is the meteorological end of summer? Did we already hit that?
So September 1st, yeah. I love it because we go by 3-month increments. We don't do astronomical. Astronomical fall is tomorrow, but meteorological fall started September 1st. Doesn't feel like fall, won't feel like fall for a while.
Probably not till January.
Well, our normal high, I think, is down to by the end of October, it's in the low 80s for where we should be. Hopefully we can get some 80s soon. Doesn't look like it for the next few days, at least.
Okay. Well, Tommy, thanks so much for sharing all of this with us. I know that you have an article that you already published on our website. Tell me a little bit about the article.
Yeah, so it's broken up into the two segments. I feel like this has kind of been a trend we've been trying out here in the travel forecast. It's tropic update, and then followed by the travel forecast. Upper levels there's the storm track at the upper levels, followed by the severe storm threats Sunday, Monday. This video also has your Tuesday and beyond forecast here that you can go back and listen to and watch. I wish I could put more on that, but we'll have a little more in-depth of a forecast if you're curious about Austin in Central Texas. That's 5 o'clock. We'll have a full 30-minute segment there, and then 9 o'clock on CW. And then after the game, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock on KXAN, back over on NBC.
Nice. Well, Tommy and everyone who is joining us here live, I do want to remind you all that Tommy's Travel Forecast happens every Sunday live on our social medias and our website, KXAN.com. But you can always rewatch it on demand on any streaming platform that you have. It's free app in any app store, KXAN Plus. Just download the app. That's Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Samsung TV. Watch Tommy and I, or watch much, much more exclusive content on there. Tommy, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on air.
Yeah, thank you so much.